Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why the eagle is the symbol of power, freedom, and fearlessness across so many cultures? It's not just because of its wingspan or sharp claws, it's because of its mindset. The eagle doesn't fly with the flock. It doesn't settle for the branch when it was born to conquer the sky. When storms come, most birds seek shelter. But the eagle? It rises above the storm, using the very winds that frighten others to lift itself higher. Today, I want to take you into the mindset of this majestic creature, not just as a symbol, but as a way of life. Because if you can think like an eagle, you can live like a leader. Strength is often misunderstood. Many believe it's about being loud, always surrounded by people, or constantly in motion. But real strength, the kind that endures, inspires, and breaks barriers, is often forged in silence. It is built in solitude and proven in storms. That's exactly what the eagle teaches us. Eagles don't fear flying alone. In fact, they prefer it. While most birds move in flocks, seeking safety in numbers, the eagle chooses the sky for itself. It doesn't need approval or company to validate its path. And that's not because it's arrogant. It's because it understands the power of independence. This is a lesson many of us need to learn. Too often we wait for someone to join us, to agree with us, or to walk our path before we take our first step. But an eagle doesn't wait. It knows that some journeys are meant to be walked alone, not because others aren't good enough, but because the altitude you're destined to reach isn't meant for everyone. Solitude, in this sense, becomes sacred. It becomes the space where the eagle sharpens its instincts, preserves its energy, and prepares for the next great flight. Similarly, in our own lives, there will be times when we must distance ourselves from the noise, to think, to regroup, to build. And that's not weakness. That's strength. It takes courage to be alone with your thoughts. It takes resilience to walk a road no one else understands. The eagle mindset teaches us that the quiet moments are often the most powerful. They are where growth begins, but solitude is only half the story. The other half lies in the storm. When dark clouds gather and fierce winds rise, most birds run for cover. They hide, they wait, they hope it passes. But not the eagle. The eagle sees the storm and flies toward it, not away from it. It welcomes the challenge because it knows what others don't, that storms give it an advantage. You see, while other birds are grounded, the eagle uses the storm's wind currents to soar even higher. The very thing that scares others becomes its fuel. The storm doesn't break the eagle, it lifts it. Now think about that for a moment. How often do we run from difficulty? How often do we shrink when pressure builds or challenges arise? What if instead we embraced them like the eagle does? What if we saw every storm as a ladder to greater strength, wisdom, and altitude? Every person faces storms. There's no escaping them. Financial struggles, broken relationships, failures, doubt. But it's not the absence of storms that defines us. It's how we respond to them. The eagle doesn't complain about the wind. It adjusts its wings. That's mindset. That's power. Imagine if we could do the same. Imagine if instead of asking, "Why me?" we asked, "What is this trying to teach me?" The eagle doesn't fear adversity because it knows storms are temporary, but the strength gained from flying through them lasts forever. Even in nature, the eagle undergoes a painful process called molting, where it sheds its old feathers, breaks its beak, and claws to allow new growth. It's a difficult, almost excruciating transformation, but it is necessary for survival and a longer, stronger life. There is a metaphor in that for all of us. Sometimes we have to go through dark seasons that strip us of comfort, of the familiar, of who we used to be, so we can grow into who we're meant to become. pain becomes part of the process. But pain, when faced with purpose, transforms into power. So yes, the eagle flies alone. It embraces storms. It grows through pain. And in all of this, it teaches us that strength doesn't come from ease. It comes from endurance. It comes from choosing the sky over the safety of the nest. It comes from rising above what weighs others down. That is the eagle mindset. Let us not be afraid to stand alone when our vision calls us higher. Let us not hide from storms, but meet them with courage. Let us not dread transformation, but welcome it, knowing that even in our lowest moments, we are being prepared for flight. True strength isn't about avoiding hardship or always having support. It's about facing the storm, spreading your wings, and flying anyway.